if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving.
Yo, what is up, y'all? It's me, Key. We're back in the building with another episode, 7200 podcast. We on number episode 90. We got 10 more episodes to go. And as always, I got my guy, Coach Donte. He's always here with me. What is going on, Coach?
Ready to talk some ball. What's good? I'm ready to talk. Let's do it.
All right, yeah, we got a good, I know it's late, but still, we giving y'all on a late night edition of the 7200 seconds. We got some good stuff on the docket. We got the top 10 running backs and QBs tonight. Let's see if we can if we have similar lists, or I know our lists are going to be different. We're not perfect, but it's our opinion of who the top 10 QBs and running backs are. You might be surprised at what I picked, but don't at me, y'all. It's just what I think and our opinions on things. So,
hey, if you want to add me, you can add me, and I'll be able to tell you. If you want,
y'all have y'all opinion on things, just like I have my opinion on things, and we don't come at y'all neck for y'all opinion. That's y'all opinion. We gonna agree to disagree. But Sergeant Donte, what's going on? Appreciate y'all as always. But let's look. I'm just coming in the house. From shop, I wasn't shopping. I had to be the cart pusher and the bag holder and everything else. But yeah, we JJ Justin Jefferson, well-deserved contract, 4 years, 120 mil, I think it was. 110 guaranteed. We all knew that contract was coming, and he didn't want to leave Minnesota. But what about him being the highest paid wide receiver?
I mean, hey, man, he deserves to get paid. I mean, he's the Vikings' number one wide receiver. He's been nothing more but consistent since he came into the league. He deserves it. And, again, J.J. McCarthy has a weapon he can throw to. And don't forget about Jordan Addison, who had a great season last year over there with the Minnesota Vikings. You have Hawkinson. The only thing you can question is their running game, but their defense was
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. I forgot he went over there, so that should help him out a little bit. But it'll be interesting to see how good their defense is. So, again, Justin Jefferson, someone who's been an 1,800-yard wide receiver, and I'm still bugging on that. That's crazy that Hayden don't got him in the top 5. He should be thrown in jail for that part right there.
Wait. Hayden said that Jefferson wasn't
he didn't put him in the top. He didn't put him in the top 5 at all, and it was no real logic why he didn't put him in the top 5.
Okay, if you don't put him number 1, he has to be top 5.
There's no doubt.
Okay, I digress.
And again, but like I say, it should help JJ McCarthy out, man. He got weapons. We'll see what happens. I mean, it should, if there's anything, it should help JJ McCarthy. It should benefit him that he got his number one weapon back.
Regardless who starts, whether it's JJ or Darnold, there should be no excuses. They can't find them the ball.
Yeah.
To be no excuses.
But again, like I say, if he has like I was saying the other day, if he has a good season, JJ McCarthy somehow has a good season, people are going to say because of the weapons. Well, every quarterback need weapons. Every quarterback would need weapons. Now, if you can do it without any type of weapons, that just shows how good a quarterback you are. But other than that, every quarterback needs some type of weapon. So again, other than that, man, this should be a good start for JJ McCarthy. Not saying he's going to have a great season. He's going to have the ups and downs, but having those wide receivers in a running game, if Aaron Jones stay healthy, it should be beneficial to him.
CMC, Christian McCaffrey, he gets rewarded with a 2-year extension with the 49ers. Definitely one of the best running backs in the league. When we get down to our list, me and you both should have who's number 1 as running backs on the list. But Christian McCaffrey gets rewarded to a 2-year extension. 49ers try, doing their best to keep him, and he's gonna stay in the Bay Area. Kevin Stefanski, he gets extended as well. Good move for the Browns.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he made the playoffs with a 4-string quarterback with Joe Flacco coming off the street. So yeah, I think that's a good deal for Cleveland. They have a good defense over there. Now the only difference, can Deshaun Watson stay on the football field? Can he stay healthy? That remains to be seen. I think Cleveland good enough. Their defense is very good, and I think Kevin Stefanski done all he could, to help his coaches, his team in the right situation. It's just unfortunately, the quarterback situation got decimated. And he did all he could with Joe Flacco. So, yeah, that's why I wasn't so mad at him getting coach of the year. So that's why I wasn't mad at all, because he deserved it.
Yeah, he definitely. Flacco was on the couch playing with his kids, and he called them up and went to the playoffs with, like you said, 1st-string quarterback. They went through Watson, DTR, PJ Walker. They all going, and here comes Flacco. Being the veteran that he is. They lost their running back, Nick Chubb. You still had was it Ford and Kareem Hunt, and then you had the silent assassin and Amari Cooper going off. So we'll definitely see this Browns team should be fun this year. So they should be interesting to watch. They should be a good team over there in the north to compete. What else happened? Nothing too much happened in the football world. I know OTAs is going on. Some are mandatory, some aren't. CD Lamb still holds out because he's looking at Jerry Jones like, all right, Jerry, what's going on? But if you're the Dallas Cowboys, Donte, I'm going to ask you this question before we get down into some more nitty-gritty questions of things. But if you're Dallas, who do you pay first?
You got to pay your wide receiver. You got to pay your wide receiver. If you don't pay CD Lamb, who is he going to throw to? So you got to look at your wide receiver. You got to pay your wide receiver.
That's right. Rest in peace to Larry Allen. Lost a Hall of Famer there over the weekend. But yeah, you wouldn't be pressed to sign Dak Prescott, right? You still got Prescott got to be signed. They already said they're not working on a contract for him. You still got Michael Parsons you got to sign, and you got CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb was looking at Jerry like, all right, he was waiting for Jefferson to get his money. So do you think CeeDee Lamb will get Justin Jefferson money, or
he's going to get less than that, but he's going to get some good type of money?
When people thought I was crazy having CD in my top 5, everybody was like, pay him. CD's good. I was not denying him. I had him up there in the top as well. What's going on, Burn? Again, happy belated birthday to Burn. We in the Gemini gang up here. Gang. It is tatted on me, Gemini here. We got Jake in the house. Make sure y'all go over to Jake Snake Sports Talk and subscribe to Jake. Talks about everything, down to hockey, baseball, and all. But what's going on, Jake? But your priority got to be CeeDee Lamb, Michael Parsons. Then you gotta, if you want to bring Dak back, then you gotta bring Dak back. If not, you gotta move on. Dak can go somewhere where they need a QB, and some team will pay Dak. Maybe the Colts. I don't know. Who knows? But they got AR, but I don't know. Cowboys want to rebuild their clean house at the end of the season and build the team with Parsons and Lamb. I guess. Because Jerry don't spend no money in free agency anyway. You might as well build around them and go through the draft and everything else. So it should be interesting what the Cowboys are going to do this year. But again, we're getting the record predictions sometime later on this week. Up until we leading up to the 100th episode. Again, we are 9 away, y'all. 9. We got number 90 right now. 9 away. So hopefully y'all, again, look out for how to put y'all names in the drawing of things. And again, jersey giveaway. The first person will get the jersey of their choosing. Again, we all are all around sports show, so it just don't have to be football jersey. You want a basketball jersey. You want baseball. You want hockey. We'll get you that jersey. Also, a 7,200 second shirt for the second winner and a 7,200 seconds hat. So 3 giveaways we are doing. So 3 lucky participants will get the drawing. We'll get the prizes. Come on the show, hang out with us. Again, we just not going to bring anybody up here. Y'all got to have some type of common sense. Talk about the show. Talk about your favorite moments. Talk about your favorite rant. You know, Coach got a bunch of them. So go ahead and pick out what your favorite moments in 7,200 seconds is going on. Earn. Appreciate you always coming in. They need a GM of the Year award because Brad Holmes of the Lions is definitely killing it. I think they do give the GM an award. They just don't announce it though. I think they do get something like executive or something like that. I think they do get an award. You got your list, Coach? Because majority of the bulk of the stuff we're going to
No, I ain't got my list because the top 10.
We got a special guest in the background, y'all. Jake, what's going on, man?
You knew that I had to show up here after I just finished up an immaculate show.
Yeah, come on, Jay. Glad to see you in, man. There we go.
So what's your thoughts about Dallas Cowboys and CeeDee Lamb looking at Justin Jefferson saying, "Oh my gosh, he got this money." Jerry, what you gonna do, bro? Like, what is up? He's holding out.
I mean, why not? Why not? Because here's the thing. The thing that the Cowboys have to basically understand is that, first of all, CeeDee Lamb, if you look at him and Justin Jefferson's stat line since they've been in the league, they're nearly identical. The only difference is CeeDee's got 2 more touchdowns than Justin Jefferson, but they both are 1,000-yard receivers. They also, I think one's got more catches and the other's got more targets, but they're practically the same receivers from here because they all serve a very viable and pivotal piece to the offense. And if you think about what the Vikings are doing and what the Cowboys should be doing, is the Vikings are not paying anybody at quarterback right now. They've got a bridge quarterback with Sam Darnold. You've got J.J. McCarthy, which we have no idea what his future is going to be paved on. But I've already paid Aaron Jones a running back. I've already paid T.J. Hawkinson. Jordan Addison is going to be going into his second year, so I have yet to see what the market lands before I pay him. And so the Vikings are doing this right by keeping the offense very viable. And what the Cowboys need to do is you've already franchise tagged Dak twice. You already did this. And you now have no choice but to give him the money. So, but then you've got CeeDee Lamb, who's the viable part of your offense, because what would have made this simple is if Dallas had a number 2 receiver. Unfortunately, they don't. And that's what's their problem, because they're a CeeDee Lamb injury away from just all of this just crash landing so hard. So why not pay CeeDee right now to save your sake the amount of, like, he gets injured, he ain't got no contract, he's pissed. So save your sake of the argument for there. And then I'd say maybe wait to see what the market really turns out for Micah Parsons, because that'll be your next guy that you're going to end up paying. And then at the end, let Dak walk, because you could find another quarterback at some point. You may not find a great one, but you got to find somebody that you could build within the system. But I thought they did it right by getting offensive line. They just need to go get a number 2 receiver, for God's sakes, because CD needs that. Michael Gallup was just another Terrence Williams that just constantly got hurt and was just not there available. And Brandon Cooks, he didn't show up until 8. So you got to give me somebody that I know that can trust for whenever CeeDee Lamb gets that heat.
Well, I'm going to tell you this one thing, go a step further. I can make an argument that Dallas and Dak Prescott, if you ask, he probably not going to say it, but they hell of a miss Dalton Schultz and in his presence, being that number 1 tight end over there. So again, like Jake said, Brandon Cooks is getting older and older. He didn't show up till late during the season. Jake Ferguson, they okay, but they're not a damn Dalton Schultz. They're not a Dalton Schultz, someone that can take a lot of that pressure off CeeDee Lamb. So in that route, I'm just going to expect you have to go CeeDee Lamb first. You got to lock him up first, because after him, you got no other type of weapon that you can really rely on and go to. You got Ezekiel Elliott in your running back room, which your running back room is not so great as the season start right now. But other than that, you gotta lock up your first option. You gotta make sure CeeDee Lamb goes into training camp or starts off training camp with a contract. You gotta make sure that happens first. Michael Parsons, he's got to be up next, but you take care of CeeDee Lamb first. I think that's your first option. You get him covered. That way you can have your number one wide receiver, and he's gonna get double teamed a lot. But that's what a factor of a number two wide receiver comes in. Okay, when your number one option is gonna get double teamed, you need someone else to step in there. I think that's where you miss Dalton Schultz at, and that's where you kind of miss Tony Pollard, someone that can catch out of the backfield as well.
That's true. What Vic said. Brandon Cooks had 1,000 yards everywhere he went until he went to Dallas.
Yep.
Jake Ferguson was a good target for Dak a lot. I know he killed the Eagles on some plays. Shoemaker was another one, rookie from Michigan. He did good. He did all right, but Ferguson is that guy. But they definitely do need a number two to co-side with CeeDee Lamb, and I just don't understand why Jerry Jones don't want to spend no damn money. There's plenty of receivers that he could have gotten a free agency to put aside CeeDee Lamb to help out his quarterback. But he don't like spending money. I just don't understand why.
Facts. Shoemaker nothing more but a blocking tight end, so it's really nothing special at the tight end position for Dallas. Really, that's why I brought up Dalton Schultz. That's why I brought him up.
TD needs to step it up. He's cleaning the house. Yeah, I believe he cleaned the house. I believe it. I definitely believe it. I know Zach Martin saying he thinking this year might be it for him. So he might be retiring. The older guys are getting older, and then you got to bring in the new blood. But it's definitely going to be interesting in the NFC East. They still going to compete. But they go to the playoffs, we don't know. But Dallas will find a way to be in it. Jake, your thoughts on Christian McCaffrey getting re-signed?
I mean, with the season that he basically had, and at the same time, I mean, we know that the quarterback market is right now kind of shaping up very differently, because right after we just got Jared Goff getting $53 million a year, I've been hearing it a lot with as far as how people have been shaping up about what's Brock Purdy's contract going to look like at some point, because we know Brock Purdy has been getting the team to the Super Bowl, and then also have been getting them to the conference fight, like the conference championship. But Christian McCaffrey very much was a pivotal part of that offense. He was giving you the rushes. He was giving you the catches. He was giving you everything that you needed to keeping like all together collectively an offense that really can produce. Now, it'll be interesting to see what next season pans out, because you got now the rookie from Florida, Ricky Parcell. You also still have Brandon Ayuk with the contract situations from there. But I think this was right. I mean, Christian McCaffrey is giving you everything that he possibly can with the best of his capabilities. So I'm not mad at this. I think this is something that John Lynch has had his eye on for quite a while. And if you're going to pay a top running back that, I mean, he arguably is probably one of the best caliber running backs to his position in regards of just the abilities he possesses to make him that kind of running back and to be set in an offense like this.
I like what Donte said. CeeDee Lamb will be a Tim Brown if he stays in Dallas. Tim Brown was a Hall of Famer on the sucky Raiders team. And CD can use his leverage. Definitely can go to another team. Oh, another team will definitely pull up his services and willing to pay him the money he deserves. There's plenty of teams who need the QB. I mean, a wide receiver right now. And having the CeeDee Lamb on your team, man, I can count how many teams would go after CD right now. Let him say he don't want to play for Dallas no more. How many teams be calling? But Don, you said you don't got your list, right?
I don't got my list because of the other two lists that I
all right, well, Donte don't got his top 5 on the coach's list. I guess we can go into our list here. Jake, we got our top 10s, so you can put your 2 cents in. If you know the top 10s off the top of your head in any order, you can chime in with your list too. But let's see here. Again, y'all, don't at me.
You can at me. If you're gonna say you can at me, I ain't gotta be afraid. You can at me.
Doggone it. Y'all gonna be mad at my don't come at me for my opinions, doggone it. All right, so whose list are we gonna start with first?
I'll go. Want me to go?
Okay, yours is up. So your QB list is up. Hold on, let me get it up here.
I don't put that list up though. Go ahead, put that little bad old list up there.
You know, my graphics ain't too fancy, but it's enough. It'll do. It'll work. All right, Donte, go ahead and explain your list here.
Right, so my list, we all know we can just start at number 2. Don't leave we can just start at number 2. Joe Burrow. Like I say, man, even though he did get hurt, he's still a number 2 quarterback in the league. Already have heck of accomplishments. Led his team to the Super Bowl his second year. Still don't have a good benefit of an offensive line, but Joe Burrow still can go out there and get the job done with healthy. Now, this is big for me. Josh Allen. This year is going to prove if Josh Allen is that guy right here. But I think he's still the third best quarterback in the National Football League. Number 4, Lamar Jackson. MVP, Lamar Jackson. MVP, Lamar Jackson. Got to give him credit. I mean, he went to the AFC Championship. He ran into that dog Patrick Mahomes, but he did win the MVP and he did have a great season. When he's on the field, he means a lot to the Baltimore Ravens when he's actually on the football field. Now, number 5, Justin Herbert is the number 5 quarterback on my list. Now, I'm not going to give Justin Herbert a lot of flack because the front office picked the wrong wide receiver, first of all, in Quinn Johnson, a receiver who couldn't catch the ball all last year long, a receiver who, just like Mike Williams, they had a shitty head coach. If you want to put that on Jalen Hurts, who did have a shitty offensive coordinator. So, again, Justin Herbert, what he had, a shitty-ass head coach, and instead of what he ended up doing, getting fired. His receivers couldn't catch the ball all year long, but Justin Herbert has proved he's been consistent every year he's been in the league. He has proven. Now, number 6, Jalen Hurts. He can climb back up to that top 5, but again, if you want to blame the offensive coordinator for having Jalen Hurts, for him to be a top 5 quarterback when he had the second most turnovers in the NFL, not protecting the football, you got to hold him accountable for that. But he's still no doubt, he's still a top 6, top 5 quarterback. Number 7. Now this is more of a respect for Matthew Stafford. Nowhere in the world you thought that Rams team was going to the playoffs and giving the Lions a game. With Puka Kanua and you got Cooper Kupp coming back. But Matthew Stafford, a Super Bowl champion, soon as he got out of Detroit, he led his team to the Super Bowl the first year and won the Super Bowl. And he's one of the key reasons why the Rams went to the playoffs last year. Now, you can argue Jared Goff should be on this list. You can argue that, but I'm going to get to the reason why I don't got him. Now, Kirk Cousins, when he's healthy, he's a top 10 quarterback, but I should have actually replaced him with Jared Goff because he did get hurt. So I should have replaced him with Jared Goff right there. Now, number 9, CJ Stroud. I expect him to be a part of the top 5 discussion by the end of the season. CJ Stroud was the reason why the Texans made the playoffs last year. If you look at actually the Texans game, he was the reason why we actually made the playoffs last year. Nico Collins coming in this season, questionable, hurt for the last couple of years, 430 yards. And now all of a sudden CJ Stroud comes in, his talent, he elevates Nico Collins' talent. And guess what? Nico Collins got paid this offseason. He did get paid this offseason. So again, CJ Stroud is going to be cracking that top 5 soon. And number 10, Dak Prescott, 36-9 regular season. But again, you got to question him in the playoffs. But other than that, he's up between that top 10, top 11, top 12 quarterback every year. So that is my top 10 quarterbacks list.
All right. Oh, wait, hold up. All right. So where is my QB list? Hold up, y'all. Doggone it. But Jake, you want to chime in on Donte's list?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a very solid list to say the least. I just think, with Kirk Cousins' injury, it definitely set him back this year. But you can make the argument that if he stayed healthy, he was playing red hot though, when he came up out of the gate. And so, there's a part of it that I think, like you can make that case in point. The two that I would definitely say as honorable mentions would be Brock Purdy and would be Jordan Love. Because if you look at Brock Purdy's case, I mean, the fact that he went up and he completed 69% of his throws. Like he's completing nearly 70 of his passes. And again, this, whether it goes on script or off script or whatnot, but he threw for 4,200 yards, had 31 touchdowns and 11 picks. So the fact that, like, I know not a lot of people could say, like, well, not a lot of that was all on Brock Purdy. I'm like, yeah, but here's the thing. Yes, he's surrounded by an all-star cast of really good players, and so it allows him to be able to spread the ball out as much as he possibly can. But he is a gamer. He's a gamer and he's a game manager. Thanks, Cam Newton, for you to basically speak this way about Brock Purdy, because he can basically manage it. I mean, that's what we all are in our lives. We're all managers in our own lives when it comes to decisions and when it comes to being the best versions of ourselves. So I think Brock Purdy you can put as an honorable mention. Jordan Love, I thought this year was another one, because the fact that 64 completions, 4,100 passing yards, 32 touchdowns, 11 picks, just about as similar as a Brock Purdy, production. But Jordan Love really did take that step. Now, it did not look good the first half. Let's see what next year looks like, this upcoming year, with the first half slate of games that the Packers have. But you can make a case in point. That second half slate that Jordan Love had was undeniably amazing, because the fact that he's poised in the pocket, he's throwing accurate, sharp throws to a lot of his receivers, and the fact that he just basically mauled over Dallas in that game in the first part of the playoffs, like that just tells you just how immaculate that the build for Jordan Love really is. So I think those are the two quarterbacks that you can honestly put as an honorable mention. But I'm not mad at that list. I mean, that's pretty as solid as it can be. I just think it was kind of hard for me to really kind of add Kirk in there due to injury. Yeah. But at the same time, it's still pretty solid in my opinion.
All right, I found it. I forgot to add it. Duh. Like I said, I was rushing in here and I forgot, but I got it. I got it now. So,
jeez, we got top 10s after I just did a this or that whole thing for the Stanley Cup final.
So,
I'll share
like
with
I
you
said,
guys a little later.
Me and Donte got similar lists. But I got a couple that he don't have. Well, I have someone that he don't have. So, again, don't come for me, y'all. So, of course, we got 1 and 2. 1 and 2, we had the same. I put Lamar Jackson at 3. Only because, Lamar Jackson definitely had a better year definitely had a better season this year than last year. He stayed healthy all year. That was a key plus for Baltimore to even get as far as they did to the playoffs. And then, they just couldn't get past Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City in that playoff game. Josh Allen definitely is going to be a big, let's see what he can do this year, knowing that Stephon Diggs is gone. His Gabe Davis is gone. Singletary, some of their key weapons is gone, but he's still a good quarterback in this league. He's still a top. Again, it got Justin Herbert at 5. So this is where our list differs. Stafford, I put over Hurts only because Stafford both had. Coach definitely has some valid points. Nobody expected Matthew Stafford to get to the playoffs, even though I think they should have beat Detroit. That was a fluke. They should have beat Detroit in that game. Having rookie Puka Nacua, 1,000 yards, and then you had running back come to play. Kyron Williams came onto the scene. Still Cooper Kupp. Defense actually held their own. Matthew Stafford and the Rams didn't do pretty bad. So I got Stafford at number 6. Jalen Hurts, we all know, turnover machine last year. Still definitely could be in that top 5 spot. CJ at number 8. Everybody's like, oh, can Ohio State quarterbacks do their job? CJ Stroud was the best rookie last year. Could have been MVP. Was in that conversation. He can definitely get back in that conversation. Kirk Cousins. Got to put Kurt on this list. Again, he was balling before he was out. If he didn't get hurt, I think Kirk probably been higher. And I took Dak off my list at number 10 and put Jared Goff in there because he do deserve to be in this conversation. Number 3 in the league in throwing. Took the team to the NFC Championship game. They ended up losing, but Jared Goff had a good season in my opinion for the Lions. I had to show Jared Goff some love. I had to take Dak off my list. But like I said, you can flip flop between Dak and Jared Goff. So I got Jared Goff at number 10 on my list, and I took Dak off. If we did a top 11, a top 15, Dak will be right underneath Jared Goff at 11.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, don't at me, y'all. My list is my list.
Vic basically at you said that Justin Herbert play like a top 5. Did Jalen Hurts play like a top 7 quarterback last year? The same for him. Did he play like a top 7 quarterback last year? And he's still at number 7.
And so, let me see. All right, running backs. See what Coach got here.
All right, my list at the bottom got 2 rookies. Just gonna let y'all know.
Gotta bring it up for you so they can see the vision.
Consistent 2 rookie running backs. He played like a top 7 quarterback with the second most turnovers in the NFL. Wow. But again, like I don't go by that. I go by the better players. I don't go by that. I go by better player. I don't go by the. It's only a certain way I go by the numbers. I just go by better player.
All right, here we go. And all right, y'all. Here we go. Coach's running back list.
All right. So we're going to skip number 1. We're going to the same thing quarterback list. We're going to skip number 1. Everybody knows who number 1. So Derrick Henry is the number 2 running back. I think he's going to definitely help out Lamar Jackson, take a lot of pressure off him in a running game. He still can get the job done. Had over 1,200 yards, at least at 1,200 yards last year. He still get the job done. JT, you got Saquon Barkley. The only reason I don't have Nick Chubb because he was out the whole entire season. Since that Pittsburgh game out, and I had Nick Chubb. I did have Nick Chubb, but the only reason I just wanted to see this year, if he comes back the same, Nick Chubb will be definitely back in that top 5. So I only took him out of the top 5 because he was injured since Pittsburgh. That's why I only took him out the top 5. So I want to see what he does coming back next year out there. And that was a gruesome injury too. So I gotta wait till this year to put him back on. But he's definitely if he has another season, he's definitely gonna be back in that top 5. Saquon Barkley from the Eagles. Joe Mixon is slept on, man. This guy is slept on. And it was a down season for a lot of running backs, man. Let's just be honest. It wasn't a year for the running backs outside of those top really 4. So it's not really questionable outside of running back. You can make an argument for Kyron Williams and all of that for the St. Louis Rams, for the Los Angeles Rams. But Joe Mixon is one of the most underrated running backs in the league and catch out of the backfield. He can also run between the tackles. He's definitely going to help out my Texans offense. And another underrated running back is Travis Etienne. Nobody look at this guy as alongside of Trevor Lawrence as a successor. This guy is really good at running the football and also catching up out of the backfield. But don't nobody even mention Travis Etienne like that. Had over 1,000 yards, can catch up out of the backfield. The only thing he needs to fix is his fumbling issues. But again, I love Travis Etienne. I'm a big fan of Travis Etienne, man. I'm a big fan of this guy. And hey, man, I love me some Travis Etienne. Now, Breece Hall at number 7. Josh Jacobs at number 8. Bijan at number 9, and I got Jahmyr Gibbs. They both have similar seasons. Bijan had a total of 1,300 yards, all-purpose yards last year. Bijan Robinson was the running back and pretty much damn near the second best receiver on the Atlanta Falcons squad. He had 487 yards of passing, receiving yards, 487 yards of receiving. He was basically the number 2 wide receiver and the running back of that team. And again, he had a trash head coach It shows because Arthur Smith was fired because you went through that trend when you played at Tampa Bay, and everybody was questioning why Bijan Robinson not playing much because of Arthur Smith didn't know how to use his guys the right way. Now Jahmyr Gibbs, similar season to Bijan Robinson, made the playoffs, but I believe he was in a better situation than Bijan Robinson. But Jahmyr Gibbs still a hell of a running back, so that's why I got them two on this list.
Jake.
Man, it is an interesting one.
He's a dog. I love that kid.
It's interesting because I do think, like, you can make the case in point of what could potentially happen with Joe Mixon in Houston, because the fact of you got him and Damian Pierce basically splitting up the carries. We know that Joe Mixon does not quite have like the top tier like running back juice like what he used to have like early on in his career and up to this point. But I think you could make a case in point that even if he does get the split carries, what version of Joe Mixon will we get? That really is the question of it for this year. I do see a really good rebound for Jonathan Taylor this year with how things really panned out for the Colts, and especially with injuries to a lot of key positions. Similar thing that I could say about Travis Etienne. I'm not surprised, Vic, that Austin Eckler didn't make the cut. And the only reason of this is because Austin Eckler, we know, is an all-purpose running back, because he hasn't even come close to rushing for 1,000 yards yet. Like that's kind of the biggest thing is Eckler, for as much of the multi-purpose yards that he gets, he is not a pure rusher. And we've seen that multiple times. He has not been capable of getting 1,000 yards rushing on his own, even though he's come up close to it. But a lot of those are all-purpose yards. So Breece Hall, I definitely agree with. Josh Jacobs, I agree with. Bijan Robinson as well, I agree with. I think now with a new offensive coordinator, a new head coach, this definitely helps out. Jahmyr Gibbs, absolutely, because the fact of that kid's got some really damn good speed. If you really want to think about it's just really kind of interesting because I'm just waiting to see in the fact of when we're going to see Isaiah Pacheco up there, because he does have really good speed, but I do think that there is a point to Pacheco where he's going to get his dues, where he'll get the scores. He's capable of getting at least the carries and utilizing a lot of his ground speed. But I think this is a pretty decent, solid list. I'd still question about Joe Mixon only because of just the version we'll get this year. But it is certainly right about like the next 5 that are there when it comes to Etienne, Hall, Jacobs, Robinson, and Gibbs.
By the way, Joe Mixon does have 1,000 yards over 4 times during his career. So they were 4,000 rushing yards. 1,000 rushing yards in his 4 years that he's been in Cincinnati. So he shows signs of him being a capable running back as well, and a capable pass catcher up out of the backfield. I think he would definitely be a great fit alongside of Houston. Damian Pierce still up in the air. He had a problem all year with the system because if Damian Pierce doesn't run downhill, then he can't use him as much. That's why we drafted another running back in Gerard Jordan as well. So it'll be definitely interesting to see.
Yeah, and those are my 2 honorable mentions right there. Kyren Williams, of what he done with the LA Rams, and especially what he's going to continue to do this year. And I'm trying to think of one other running back too that I think had a really decent season as well from last year. Was I cannot think of his name, but yeah, I'd say Kyren Williams and one other player. I'll let Key go through her list before I end up getting back to the name that I try to get as an honorable mention.
Again, don't add me at my list, y'all. So, Jake's honorable mention, I'll put him in number 8. So, good, of course, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, I got Saquon at number 3. I know y'all like no Nick Chubb, no JT. I want to do something different. We all know they're top tier running backs. But we know this already. Got Josh Jacobs, Travis Etienne, definitely underrated for the Jags. Was the fuel for that team, honestly. Got to put Joe Mixon at 6. I put Aaron Jones in at number 7. Aaron Jones did some good things for Green Bay. Now with Minnesota going to the division rival at that, he's playing in the division. Karen Williams had a great season this year. Had to show him some love. That's another 1,000-yard running back for the Rams. I think the Rams has found a running back. Jahmyr Gibbs at number 9, and then Dijon following at number 10.
Yeah, that was who it was my other honorable mention was Aaron Jones. Because I was like, yeah, he still plays. That's the other thing is that he's capable of rushing. He does the similar multi-purpose yards as Austin Eckler, but he is capable of being that runner.
No, what? Never thought of that. That is true. Pacheco will never get noticed with Mahomes on that team. That's true. James Cook, another one. He had 1,000 yards. David
He was
Montgomery,
actually good. He was really good.
David Montgomery had 1,000 yards as well.
Mm-hmm.
Damon Foreman. Why would we? No, I'm not even gonna highlight his comment. I'm not even gonna do it.
I
was trying to think of Deontay Foreman. I'm like, stop.
I'm not even going.
No,
Swift is not a top 10.
No, Swift. No.
He isn't. He's a top. I'll put him in the top 20, but he ain't top 10.
Yeah.
No.
Top Swift. He ain't no top 10 receiver. And that is our list. Next week we will do tight ends and wide receivers. So definitely going to be interesting leading up to the defensive side of the ball.
I like David Montgomery. I'm a big fan of him.
I know the Bears were sick when they let him balk. And then we'll head into our defensive side of the list. Safeties, corners, D ends, and all that good jazz. Top 10. So again, we're not going to do we're not going to do 20. That'll be a too long show. We're just going to do top 10, and say who our honorable mentions are.
Yeah. So my already like in the show that already had passed, I did a segment because of course the Stanley Cup final, Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers. That I did a this or that. If you basically want to end up hearing at least like who I chose for each of those. There's only about like 5 of them. I think 5 or 6. So this or that, the captains. Who would you rather end up taking in that series? Connor McDavid or Alexander Barkov?
I don't know. I might take Connor McDavid.
I'll take Connor McDavid. I mean, that was a blowaway, like no doubt at all on that one.
Connor McDavid.
Yeah. This or that, the Robin, Leon Draisaitl or Matthew Tkachuk?
Ooh. I'll take Draisaitl.
I took Draisaitl as well. I mean, I was not taking anything away from what Matthew Tkachuk has done since he's gone there to Florida, but I just think since Draisaitl came in the league, I mean, he was already a 50-goal scorer. He's already had 100 points. Like he serves, like he meshes in so well, like with what McDavid's speed and how he basically, how he really like factors in. Like they both are perfect Robins, like for each of their captains. Like they're perfect. The X factors, Zach Hyman or Sam Reinhart?
I'll take Reinhart.
I took Reinhart as well. Because you know what's funny? Both of them were 50-goal scorers this year. Only Sam Reinhart had 3 more goals than Zach Hyman. And the thing that's special about Sam Reinhart is if you cannot get if Barkov and Tkachuk cannot get us goal scored, then he's the next other option. Like he's almost like what Braden Point is to Tampa Bay. Like he's going to be willing to be that X factor that you could pass to and get that shot like right in. Like that's perfect. This one should honestly be a no-brainer. The goalie, Stuart Skinner or Sergei Bobrovsky?
Bobrovsky.
I thought
what?
So. Yeah. Bob is having a heck of a postseason compared to what happened with Jake Ottinger. But like his save percentage, goals against average, like the guy is just playing really, really good. The defender, Evan Bouchard or Gustav Forsling?
Bouchard.
I took Bouchard as well. The thing with Bouchard, he's having a heck of a postseason. Like he's the one sure thing next to one other Oiler defender that I trust, because sometimes I get a little bit questionable about Darnell Nurse. So I definitely took Bouchard. He's having a heck of a postseason this year. The specialist now. This is a guy who's basically the all-around guy. So he's not the captain, he's not the Robin, and he certainly is not the X factor, but he is the specialist that you need him to set the tone and do a lot more of that workload, but you're not being like the crazy goal scorer. So I got Ryan Nugent-Hopkins or Carter Verhaeghe. This was tough for me because they literally were identical this postseason with their stats.
Give me Florida.
You taking Carter Verhaeghe?
Mm-hmm.
I took Ryan Nugent-Hopkins because the thing is, so Carter Verhaeghe, so here's what he has. He's got 3 more goals over Nugent-Hopkins. He's got 9 goals while Nugent-Hopkins has 6. But the only difference is that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has 11 assists and 14 points. So, like, both of them are literally mirroring images of each other. And yeah, he's the big time veteran. Like that's the one thing is like you don't ask him to do so much. Like you ask him to either give you a pass, maybe give you a block, give you like a shot, give you something, because that's ultimately the all-around kind of player. And finally, this or that. The coach, Chris Knobloch or Paul Maurice?
Ooh. You know what? Give it to Edmonton for finally making it to the Cup. We're going Oilers.
Ooh. I don't know. I got to kind of take the veteran. I got to take Paul Maurice on that one. I mean, this is the second straight year he's gone to the Cup final, and Florida has gone more times. And I just talked to an analyst from the Canucks. He's gone more more Stanley Cup final appearances than Toronto or Vancouver or a lot of these other Canadian teams, more than them. But I love his character though. Like I love what he kind of sets the tone for the Florida Panthers. Everybody's just got to breathe. You cannot be tight, like he's like, I think everybody's tight in this room. Like he's just asking everybody to breathe. So, but his character, and I think the way he just stays calm in a lot of situations, I think this is kind of the primal year. Out of respect for Chris Knobloch, like he has done some great things with Edmonton. The only problem is that goaltending. That is the only problem that could be the X factor right now in this whole series. But to be honest, I think this could be a 7-game series. I think this will go the distance because I'm getting hyper-aggressive offense. I'm getting quality defenses to a T because I do think that there are some pieces that Edmonton kind of loses up a little bit. But the goaltending is no brainer. It's Bobby you're going to take all day on Florida because of just his veteran presence, experience, and he's an elite goaltender. So, yeah, I think this will be a fun series for sure.
Definitely always fun when Jake comes up here because he's gonna get y'all the hockey. He's gonna drop the hockey. One of the best guys I know when it comes to hockey content. So luckily I'm not that big when it comes to hockey. I do know a little bit of things, so I'm not completely up here lost But let's preview this NBA finals. Game one starts tomorrow night between the Dallas Mavericks getting back to the finals and the Boston Celtics yet again getting back to the finals. Before we get into that, Tyrese Maxey is expected to get a 4-year deal, $205 million max deal, which is well deserved. Something Daryl Morey is smart about. Now we just got to get the role pieces around. We're not going to talk too much about the Sixers because they're going to drive me to drink. JJ Redick could be the next coach for the Los Angeles Lakers. Good or bad move with JJ Redick? What's going on, JD?
I think it's a bad move. I think you could have better options out there. You taking a analyst, JJ Redick, who's never coached in the league, and you putting him on a ready-made. You putting him on basically a championship, not a championship caliber. The Lakers are not a championship team, but you putting them on a team that's going to have expectations to win a championship, because that's what LA is. That's what LA basically going to be. They're going to expect to win. When you play in LA, you expected to do nothing more to try but to win championships. It's not all about playoffs. It's not all about making it Western Conference Finals. It's all about winning championships. But again, other than that, JJ Redick, I just, like I said, I don't think he's ready to be a head coach. And plus, when you got LeBron and AD, your expectations going to be even more higher. So again, I think it's pretty much better options out there, better assistant coaching options out there that you can look at. You could have easily looked at a person like a Quinn, like a Chris Quinn, assistant coach from Miami, that was interviewed for a head coaching job as well. You could have looked at someone like him, or you could have gave the assistant coach, everybody, Phil Handy. You could have gave him at least 1 year to see what he could do with this team. What he can do with this team. Everybody appears to like head coach Phil Handy, but one thing that got the Lakers when Tyronn Lue re-signed with the Clippers, I think Tyronn Lue was probably their main option. But when he re-signed with the Clippers, I think the option kind of fell out for the Lakers, and they kind of went to it. But I think it would be I don't think it would be such a great move at all. But other than that, I just don't agree with the Lakers getting JJ Redick. That's just like getting Steve Nash, knowing he wasn't ready to be a head coach.
That was horrible.
Nash.
Donte, we know we appreciate you viewing. We know you don't know much about basketball. Definitely appreciate you being in the chat as always. What about Damian? Oh my God. Go ahead, Jake.
I just don't think the Lakers truthfully gave Darvin Ham a good enough chance in order to really build and develop. The problem is that it's all about who could really deal with LeBron James. Who could literally handle with what he does. Because you're talking about a guy that is going to obviously have his son coming from the draft. You've also got Anthony Davis that each and every single time is just when are they going to pass the torch to him? When is he going to end up showing up and be that big star? And it's every time it is always a glass half full situation. He's either in or he's out. And I just think what the Lakers need to do is they need to let's not think of championships at this point. It's hard, and I get it because it's Los Angeles. It's hard to say something like that, but let's not think of championships right now. Let's build relevance. I want to be able to build some relevance in this organization to where I'm not a constant laughing stock every year. Because it's ever since the late Kobe Bryant had retired, this Laker team don't feel the same to me. This organization doesn't feel the same. Jeannie Buss is not her dad. And at the same time, Ron Pelinka just needs to make smart moves and the right moves for this organization. But
Whitmore.
Yeah. And it's just the only option. When are we going to give Mark Jackson a second try? When are we going to give him another opportunity and a shot? And I mean, the coaches tree is thin. There's not enough coaches that that can come in that can basically mesh with everything that's happening in the Lakers. And it's like, it's the hard point right now. I mean, you just had Mike Budenholzer take the Suns job, and like you're seeing, I mean, Ty Lue staying with the Clippers. I don't blame him.
Damien, no.
Yeah, I don't blame him, because I'm not going a part of that mess. If I'm already getting new money from Steve Ballmer, why would I even want to end up walking away from that? And the only thing that you'd have to do with the Clippers, you got to get rid of Kawhi. I'd rather get rid of Kawhi before I get rid of Paul George. That's just my opinion with it. But this Lakers team is just absolutely just a joke. It's a joke. You need to have a complete revamp of this organization. Somebody has to be willing to take charge and take accountability and account for everybody else's actions and just make this team relevant. I'm tired of this team basically being a laughingstock and in a big money market. Like, it makes no sense.
Exactly. Like,
and then again, you got to mention one thing. Everybody thought they won free agents, and people were jumping up and down. But how Gabe Vincent did, he didn't play much because he was hurt. Pierre Vanderbilt, all year, didn't play all year, hurt. Cam Reddish, hurt. So you botched free agency. You might well say you had a failed free agency too, as well. So it's on to the front office. And again, I think it was better assistant coaches options out there, more than having JJ Redick just to come out of the announcement and on the ESPN shows to come coach a team that have big expectations in a big market.
Jesus freaking Christ. Candace Parker, you mean to tell me you want 3-time WNBA champion Candace Parker to coach the Lakers? What type of sense does that make, Damien? Before Candace Parker, if we're going to talk about females coaching an NBA team, it's going to either be Becky or Dawn. It's not going to be Candace Parker. If you want to be 100% real, I'm taking them to be the first female head coach in the NBA.
Shoot, the first female head coach should be, honestly,
it's going to be Becky or Dawn. It's going to be them
Becky
two.
Hammond.
So no, it's not going to be Candace Parker. No. Becky Hammond already proved she can coach an NBA team because she won the Summer League with the Spurs. No, how will that help the WNBA? It's not going to help the WNBA, weirdo.
You're already getting help from the WNBA. Her name is Caitlin Clark. What in the hell are we talking about, Damien?
Anyway, Mavs, Boston, Did Kyrie change the narrative about him? You know, I always say Kyrie's never available.
Yeah.
Kyrie don't want to play basketball. Seems like he's checked out. Has the narrative changed on Kyrie Irving?
Yes, it has. I mean, he's proved. I mean, he can be a number one option on a championship winning team. You know, on side of him and Luka, they're the best backcourt in the NBA, man. They're the best scoring backcourt in the NBA. But also, not only that, you do got to give mentions to Coach Jason Kidd, who was the best point guard that ever played in the NBA, pretty much.
And
you got to give mention.
And he won a chip with Dallas.
Yep. And you got to give mention to the moves that they made at the trade deadline. Daniel Gafford. You go back to P.J. Washington. That was a big move. The rookie, Derek Lively, can't seem to miss from the field. How good they play on defense. Their bench is being good. So, again, and plus, Kyrie Irving leaving Boston with a little taste in his mouth because, remember, he was a selfish player, listed as a selfish player in Boston while he was having a bad series, and the team was having a bad season, and they got kicked out by the Milwaukee Bucks. He goes to Brooklyn. He doesn't play because of the shot. They never could stay healthy anyway. Now, Dallas takes a chance. They gamble. They don't make the playoffs for a draft pick. They tank on purpose. The last stages of the regular season. And that pick ended up with Derek Lively, which was the right move. They needed rim protection. They needed defense. They got it. now, hey, they play in the best conference, no doubt, the deepest conference in the NBA, no doubt about that. To order to get to the NBA Finals with beat OKC down the stretch, to order to get past all of those, and having Kyrie Irving and Luka, not it's good when Luka doesn't show up. You have Kyrie Irving that can take over a game. When Kyrie Irving is struggling, you have Luka. And you can't double neither one of them, because if you want to take the ball out of Luka's hand, you have Kyrie Irving right there. And then Dallas is making their shot. So, again, the whole narrative changed about Kyrie Irving. Even when before he didn't get enough credit from hitting that pretty much that game-winning three in the NBA Finals. But he showed how much of a killer he is down the stretch and how much of a big shot maker and a leader. His leadership definitely improved in Dallas. So you got to give him a busload of credit. And if he comes up out of here with a championship in Dallas, man, oh man, oh man. Like I said, we think already the narrative changed about him. But man, what a special season for the Dallas Mavericks. But by adding Kyrie Irving and winning that trade deadline right there, that definitely helped Dallas, man. You got to watch out for that. And they're young too, man. You got Darren Lively, who's under 20, who's at the age of 22. PJ Washington is 27. He's just 27 years old. You got Luka, who's 25, who's no more than 25, 26. That's still a young team that's going to be together for a little while, man. And again, you just got to give credit to Kyrie Irving, but you give credit to the front office too. They made some hell of a moves at that trade.
Mark Cuban.
Yep.
PJ Washington, I know he happy because look where he was at, Charlotte. So he was excited to get up out of there. We're going to talk about the WNBA, Damien. We're going to get there in a minute.
He did. I think he definitely changed the narrative in a lot of reasons. And honestly, if the Mavericks win a championship, this is going to be a lot more meaningful for Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
You think about it, this will be a championship when he won one without LeBron. Because that was the only time that he had ended up winning a championship. And I think that the narrative, well, you can't win without LeBron. And it's like, well, yeah, I can. I got Luka. Like, I got all these guys that are there with me in Dallas. And a fun fact, you know that Kyrie Irving is 14-0 in game-clinching situations? 14-0. That's including winning the NBA Finals title with that game-winning shot. And so if you're Boston, you do not want this game going all the way to 7.
Yeah, you do not want it. Yeah.
You want to finish this thing up in either 5 or 6 because Dallas is going to be bringing the physicality that they do, because honestly, the Western Conference with a lot of teams that played in it this year, they all were very physical. Minnesota, Dallas, Denver, Boston. Boston, look at the journey road that they had. The journey road was, we played Miami. Guys got hurt. We made it through. They played Cleveland. Guys got hurt. We made it through. Indiana, Tyrese Halliburton gets hurt. We made it through. So it's like all throughout their line, the star player got hurt. And it didn't really pose as like a big-time competitive matchup at the end of it, because that's when the Pacers got swept. But to be honest, their road, they have not faced against a much more physical team yet, like what the Western Conference produces. So I think with Kyrie, with his road, with all the years that he spent there in Cleveland, winning a championship in Cleveland, and then going to Boston, which the entire narrative, that's how Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown started coming around. Once he got hurt, in comes Tatum, and the team goes all the way to the Eastern Conference Final that year. And then they showed and served, we really don't need Kyrie, because that was the end of it. So Kyrie then goes and joins up with Kevin Durant. That becomes a disaster dumpster fire in Brooklyn where everything got blown up. And so now you're trying to rewrite the script, and I believe that he has. I think he has definitely gotten trust in Luka, and Luka's gotten trust in Kyrie. And so you put the two together, that becomes a lethal arsenal. And to add PJ Washington to that, and then Daniel Gafford, like,
keep telling y'all, Gafford is very underrated.
He's very underrated. And think about it this way. This Dallas team had Jalen Brunson at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they've built a track record to where the team has built its relevance this way. And this is post-Dirk. So this is by far, I think, the most interesting Dallas team I think I've seen. But credit to Luka, and even more credit to Kyrie Irving to even get to this point. But honestly, give more credit for Jason Kidd. The fact that you won a title with this organization as a player, and you may potentially win this organization a championship as a coach. Like, that would be, I think that would be very, very interesting to see this happen.
Most definitely.
We haven't seen this since Pat Riley.
And I will laugh if Dallas wins, because you know what? Dallas would be the Dallas had two teams in the playoffs, but the Cowboys can't do nothing.
I mean, the Stars made it to the conference final. The Texas Rangers won the World Series, and then and then we got it.
And then that gets beat up by Jordan Love, the Love boot.
I mean, hell, the Arlington Renegades got to as far as they could.
Oh, not the minor league team. Damn. But who's shoot. So who? I had all these questions and I don't know what I did with them. But who will be the X factor for this game?
The X factor for this game
PJ Washington
is gonna be. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna go with Daniel Gafford. That was a good pick by Jake with PJ Washington. I'm not gonna put Kyrie Irving and Luka or none of those guys because we already know. But I'm gonna go with Daniel Gafford, protecting the rim, rebounding, throwing lobs and stuff like that, catching lobs. Just basically doing the dirty work. I think that's gonna help the Mavericks. They helped them all postseason. And PJ Washington knocked down big shots throughout this whole postseason when they needed them. So I think PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford will be the two X factors for the Mavericks. And I'm gonna give you another one that comes off the bench. I think Josh Green. I think Josh Green. He's a really good player, man. He's a really good player that's in that rotation. A guy that can shoot the basketball pretty well. I think those guys will have to step it up for the Dallas Mavericks to win this series.
So who's the X factor on the Boston side? Donte, since you're throwing out the Mavs, what about the Celtics?
Well, obviously the X factor for the Boston Celtics. I think it's gonna have to. I'm gonna say Al Horford. Al Horford is gonna have to knock down open jump shots. I think he's gonna have to knock down open jump shots in this series. I think he's gonna get a lot of opportunities on the outside. It's easy to say Tatum and Brown because those are the two guys. Those are the two superstars. So I just want to go with somebody that I feel like that can be effective if he's wide open. He's gonna knock down those open shots. He's gonna get open shots. He's gonna get open 3-pointers. And I think the bench have to do well. Peyton Pritchard, all of those guys that comes off the bench, they're gonna have to do well coming off the bench for order for them to win this series.
I'm very surprised that you said Al Horford because I'm going with Derek White.
Mm-hmm, that's what
however many times that he's like, if I need a three, I need a crucial three up out there. Derek White better give me that thing.
Yeah, Derek White definitely. So who has the better bench?
Oh,
I think Dallas has the better bench.
Yeah, Dallas has the bench and the slightly the size.
Yeah,
Is it if Porzingis is not 100% and can't go? Do you think that's going to be a title breaker for Boston?
Yes.
I think they need Porzingis to win this series.
You need somebody to end up boxing out like right in front of that rim.
Mm-hmm.
If you do not have that top guy from there, and you're going to have to ask Al Horford to carry the load. And what is he going to basically do? Because he's already like up there at his peak. And they're going to be coming out of trying to crash at the rim any way that they can. So that may be a title breaker from there.
like getting. I kind of knew this is going to happen. Porzingis, hell of a player. Not doubting his skill, his skill set, his talent. Just so damn injury prone. Like, jeez. Like I know when Boston fans was like, okay, we got Porzingis, but is he gonna be healthy enough for us to do something? Because he hasn't been on the court in a minute. It hasn't been. I don't even know the last time he been on the court.
He hasn't been on the court in a minute. I think he played the first round of the playoffs. And I think he got hurt after that. Yep. But he played a good chunk of the season, but he did get hurt in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's just who's gonna be that if Boston don't win this, has this been just a failed season for them?
Yeah. I mean, you in a weak Eastern Conference. You're in a bad Eastern Conference. That's favorable for you to that's basically an easy road to the NBA Finals. I mean, who you playing out? Like, again, you played Eastern Conference that was injury prone, injury rattled, and you got through. I mean, you ain't have to struggle against him. You had some games that you did struggle in, but you beat everybody at least 4-1, or either you swept them. So again, yes, once they got Drew Holiday and Porzingis, that's it. That was the difference of the Boston Celtics right there. So you knew they were going to get to the finals. But the fact is, can they win it with a team against a team that is battle tested, that played stiff competition all year long? In the Western Conference, that's a fight every single night, no matter what team you even go against. No matter if you go up against the worst team in the West, that's still a fight every single night because that's how strong the West could be. In the Eastern Conference, you go up against any worst team in the Eastern Conference, that's an easy win for you. That's like a night out for you. So again, yes, you knew they were going to get to the finals, but are they prepared to face stiff competition like the Dallas Mavericks?
Jake, you want to chime in?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's going to be really, really interesting, like how this works, because it's going to be a really great series all the way through and through. But like I said, you got to finish this thing either in 5 and 6 or if you're Boston, because you cannot afford to get this thing going all the way to you cannot afford this to go to 7, because the second it goes to 7, Kyrie's showing up. Like, he's showing up in those game clinching moments. And so Boston loses this series, we need to have a serious discussion with like this entirety of this group, because this is yet again, this group between Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are in the finals again, because the last time they tried to pull this off, Robert Williams was hurt and they could not stop the Golden State Warriors. For as old as they were, they couldn't stop them. And like it needed to have a collective production between both Tatum and Brown, because Brown serves to be the better defender and Tatum is more of just that offensive scorer. Because we know, but there's also got to be a point where I cannot have Tatum like sit behind anymore. I can't have that. So the second that happens, like it's one that I think is going to be really interesting in the end. So, but you cannot afford to make this go to 7 at all. You can't afford that.
Well, we all know one person who's going to have a heart attack if they lose. Bobby's going to have a heart attack if Boston loses. His Bruins already lost. Now he got to deal with the Celtics. Who wins the series, y'all?
I think it'd be Dallas in 7.
I've been fighting back and forth because I was picking Boston, but now that when I think about it, I'm going with Dallas. My only knock is Boston prepared for stiff competition, and that remains to be seen. I'm going to go Dallas in seven games.
Ooh, Keith is coming in hot. Boston in 5. You think Dallas gonna get 1 game? Damian says, I said I was going to.
I do. I would love to see the Celtics win the NBA Finals, but I got a strong gut feeling saying Dallas will win because, again, they fought through the Western Conference, the toughest team. They fought through the best of the best in the Western Conference. And, again, you had basically, Boston just had an easy road to the finals.
I said Boston in 6. I don't know. I might change my decision and go Dallas in 7. I think this goes 7 games. Dallas is gritty like that. They was down 20. Okay, the OKC game, they came back. Kyrie may not have a good first half, but that fourth quarter, he turns it on. So, I mean, it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a good finals. Finally, we get some good competition in the NBA Finals. Mm-hmm. Holiday and White are the X factors. Dallas has too many Warriors. And we did agree with that Derek White's going to be an X factor. Definitely. James Harden says he wants to be remembered as a winner. James Harden, what have you won, sir? What have you won, James Harden? What have you won that you want to be remembered as a winner? Of course, we're going to remember you as the step back 3 master, great scorer, MVP. That's all you're going to be remembered for. You haven't won anything for you to say you want to be remembered as a winner. Yeah. Do y'all agree with James Harden?
No.
Do I agree with James Harden? And to some degree, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you can say that about a lot of other players if you're going to use that logic, really. You can say that you can say that about Chris Paul. And he's one of the greatest winners in the NBA. You can say that about Chris Paul. The only thing he hasn't won is a championship. You can say that about Charles Barkley, who's in the Hall of Fame. You can say that about him. Yeah, the only thing that hurt him is a championship. You can say that about a lot of other players. You can say that about Joel Embiid, too. What has he done? What has he done in the league? You can say he hasn't. But again, he has won MVP. But the only thing, he hasn't gotten to the Eastern Conference Finals. But you can say that logic about a lot of players. So James Harden, I think at some degree he's a winner, but not when it matters the most. I think that's the thing when I'm going to go with. There's a lot of players you can say that hasn't done anything.
He said he needs to turn. He needs to turn in his badge. I can't. Closing the show, we're going to talk a little bit about the WNBA because I am over the WNBA as of right now. Not over it, but it's just.
I know we're over this narrative.
All I know is that the Sparks is getting their asses handed to by the Lynx. Jesus Christ. 20-8.
Well, we felt that same route. We got beat by the Aces. We lost 3 in a row, so hey.
True, but the Lynx is a good team. But anyway, the Aces, 95-81. Again, Asia Wilson, minutes on the court, 36 points, 12 rebounds, 15 of 22 from the field. But nobody wants to talk about Asia Wilson because of Caitlin Clark. Why are the Caitlin Clark hate, Jake? What is going on with Caitlin Clark?
Here's my thing. I spoke about this a little bit early on the show. Is people are like, this is why I cut off media off my television. I don't have cable anymore because this mainstream media is so far left and reactionary that it's just like, oh, what? You've never seen competition in your life before when it came to sports? I mean, hell, look at some of the look at some of the girls softball players that I remember growing up watching, from Olympics to collegiate to a lot of other places. If we had
Michelle Lynch, I used to have her bat. Michelle somebody, I forget her last name.
Yeah, and then we had Jenny Finch.
Yep.
I was just like, if you could make a professional softball league, that would be awesome, because it would mean a lot for a lot of the women in softball, because especially in the collegiate level. They're scrappy. I mean, I'm watching. We got Texas and Oklahoma
and Texas and softball. Yeah, I was watching that earlier.
And Oklahoma is already reigning like with their dynasty that they've had for as long as they've had in the program. So it's like, I don't get this for many reasons. And the quote, of course, that everybody is just sick and tired of hearing is the quote that Angel Reese had. The reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too. I want y'all to realize that. So one of them made a comment. I don't recall Jordan, Magic, and Bird ever making comments.
That was Gino.
Yeah.
Gino Auriemma. He said that.
Yep. Oh, Chris Golick ended up putting that up there. And like they do the results do the talking. So the thing that's funny about it, if you want to be put as the league villain, Angel Reese, you go right ahead. Because we've had so many league villains in the NBA, it's countless.
Look, I said every team needs a villain. Angel Reese is a damn good. She is killing it as a rookie right now and leading the league in offensive rebounds.
And this is the funny thing is like this. All she is a part of Caitlin Clark's journey.
Right.
That's all she is. And so, and Caitlin Clark is leading the league right now, leading rookies in all categories, almost all categories except for offensive rebounds. So, but this is the golden age right now. This is the golden era of the WNBA right now. Stop getting reactive and stop getting emotional about it. Like, you should be happy about this. And here's what's funny is that everybody's getting reactionary about it because they're like, where's Caitlin's teammates when Kennedy Carter ended up shoving her and all the rest of it? And I'm like, you know how many times Connor Bedard got his ass kicked on the ice when he was out there? Like,
what you mean she did? So okay, not to cut you off, Jake. What you mean she did nothing wrong, Damian? So you cannot sit there and freaking football tackle somebody while they're waiting for the inbound. You can't do that. That is a foul. That should have been a flagrant. It
was a clear on flagrant.
So I'm just like, she was wrong, and everybody said she was wrong. I like the heat of the battle. You being physical. Basketball is physical, but they was chopping at each other. So yeah, Kennedy got her lick back, but she did it the wrong way.
I tried to put him in timeout. I accidentally banned him. So if he can be unbanned him, but I tried to sit in the corner, unban Damian.
Oh Lord!
Put him in timeout. I tried to put him in timeout, so I didn't mean to ban Damian. So unban him. I put him in timeout. Go sit your ass in the corner.
I gotta take him off. I forget how to take him off. Jesus Christ!
But it's
go ahead, Jake.
Like, yeah, it's
just
an
accidental ban, Damian. I tried to time you out though.
It's just like we've seen physicality before, and it's just like this is nothing new to us. You think Jordan complained for as many times that they faced off against the Detroit Pistons when everybody's throwing elbows and all the rest of that shit, especially when you've got Scott Lambeer over there being an asshole like every time up on the floor. So it's just like that's nothing new. And then we just watched I watched Winning Times. Every time when Larry Bird basically had something to say, Magic was getting sick of it. And so it was just like, I really don't like this guy. And so because the rivalry between Boston and LA was epic. And so we've had this narrative over and over again. Why are we getting reactionary over this crap? Because it's just like, and again, I have no sympathies at all for when it comes to Angel Reese. I'm sorry. I got no sympathies. You want to be a villain, be a villain. Okay. But own up being a villain though. Because that's what a lot of these NBA players, a lot of them that they're villains and they don't even realize it. But sometimes some of them embrace being the villain. I mean, look at Pat Beverly. Pat Beverly's throwing basketballs at fans twice in the stands. And he's over there being a hard ass every time when he's out there up on the court. I mean, you got even heroes sometimes. Steph Curry threw his mouthpiece. Yeah, Steph Curry threw his mouthpiece out there. Yeah, Draymond Green. Draymond Green socking his own teammate in practice. The only problem is that it wasn't that the incident happened. It was the thing that got Steve Kerr pissed was why did the video get out?
Right.
Is the only problem. So I don't. And here's the thing. Caitlin Clark's not sweating about it. She's got a tomboyish mentality. She's grown up with 2 brothers in her household. So it's like she's used to that rough housing crap. Like, and it's just like, you want me to feel some type of way about it? I understand if it needs to be a team protective type of thing, because yeah, everybody's like, where's their teammates at? Well, the problem of it is, why are we getting so much hate with Caitlin Clark with the amount that she literally got? Be better, do better. Stop like with this hate and all the rest of it, because obviously this one player's working her ass off and you all are intimidated by her. Like, you should be embracing the fact that she is putting you on the television. She's putting WNBA on the television on a daily basis. And the funny thing is, I just saw this. Average of fans that come out to watch Angel Reese. You know how many people that come out to see Angel? Almost nearly 8,000. You know how many people come out to see Caitlin Clark? Nearly 17,000 people in Indiana.
That's crazy.
Everybody all the way from South Bend, Indiana, is all coming out there to watch the Fever play, no matter how god-awful they suck.
Yeah, they are terrible. Donte, that is horrible.
I said, hey,
we sat here and said 17 games. They won 2.
Hey, something about that coaching over there, man.
Yo, she
coaching, it's the players. It's like, yeah.
Is either Leah Boston not getting involved in the offense enough? Is either Erica Wheeler not doing anything on the floor? It's something going on, man. And it's something going on, man. That'll
be the first ever coach that she will have that will get fired.
Yep.
That will get fired this year. Because, yeah, you got to make this work.
Yep.
How many players changes they going to get?
But how many first-round picks you going to get, and then you're going to still be bad?
No. Washington's going to get the first-round pick. They're going to get
They got the first-round pick.
Right.
Yeah, they got the first overall pick with Lil Boston down there. They got top 5 picks, and they still are bad. They have no reason to be a bad team.
None.
But it's just funny that this is only happening with Caitlin Clark, because we didn't see this with Asia Wilson. We didn't see this with Breanna Stewart. We didn't see this with Candace Parker. We didn't see this with Lisa Leslie. We didn't see that with any of these women at all. I mean, hell, we're embracing the brand. Like, that's the thing.
I just don't like, everybody's like, oh, they're targeting Caitlin Clark. She can't play in this league. She's going to be fine. She got to adjust to the game. She will be fine. Now, if our coach used her the right way, and she would be okay. She get her teammates involved when she can't score. The other night, she had the worst game of her career. 2 points, 1 for 9. So come on. So
it's like you knew what was going to happen the second she became the number 1 overall pick. You knew about this organization. You knew about the players she was going to be surrounded by and the coaching staff. You knew this was going to happen. She was going to be save us, Caitlin Clark kind of thing that's happening in Indiana. Like, but it was never going to take away that she was going to be the number 1 overall pick. And look, the fact that Angel Reese is coming out and making the comments and speaking out is because you can smell the intimidation. Even saying that, basically saying like showing off the ring, all of the rest of it, it's because it ain't about that you won a championship. It's because you're intimidated by Caitlin Clark throughout that whole championship series. Because you knew she was going to be a number 1 overall pick regardless.
Either way, I like Caitlin Clark. I like Angel Reese. But we definitely got to talk about the others. Nobody's talking about the Connecticut Sun being 9-0, the only undefeated team. Nobody's talking about them. Alyssa Thomas and Bonner over there getting it done. And Dejanay Carrington, told you that's my crush. Can't forget about her. Y'all can't forget about the Connecticut Sun. Y'all can't forget about the Sun. I think they're going to get Aces a run for their money. Minnesota is a better team than that, and Minnesota snuck into the playoffs last year. We thought they was going to be god-awful. They starting off hot. The Liberty is starting off good. So, I mean, we got to talk about something besides other than Caitlin Clark. I get it. She's a rookie. We going to talk about her. But there's still other people. There's still other ladies in this game y'all still need to talk about. Angel Wilson might be a double award winner again. She might be Defensive Player of the Year and MVP again.
Yep.
So, but Donte, what your thoughts on this whole, Angel Reese saying they're not just looking, they looking at the game because of Me Too. It's just not Caitlin. And the narrative of Caitlin Clark and her teammates, and they need to be around her. Their thoughts of everything.
I really got no thoughts like that again. Everybody just overlooking the focus on just be on Caitlin Clark, man, which is it don't need to be on, and a lot of attention because she's been hated since college, and now she's losing. They're losing too. That doesn't make it any better at all either. But like I say, they just wish she's gonna fail, and I don't think she's gonna fail. I think she's gonna have a successful WNBA career. Mm-hmm. Now, no matter if she wins or not, that remains to be seen. They haven't showed they can win, and then like I say, that coach, something wrong with that head coach, man. That coach might need to be fired sooner than later. But other than that, I mean, it's a lot of.
Give her the boot now. Give her the boot now. Like what? Mm-hmm. I get you got to go through growing pains, but this is a new team. There's no way y'all should be 2-9 with this roster. 2-9, 2-9, 2 wins. There's no way. There's no way. What happened to the pick and roll with Aaliyah Boston or pick and roll with Alyssa Thomas? Kelsey Mitchell, like this team on paper is too good to be 2-9. So
not only that, you getting your ass whooped. It's a difference when you're out there competing, but you're getting your ass whooped. You're getting your behind whooped. You're getting your ASS whooped. So you're not even competing in most of the game. So that what makes it worse when you're uncompetitive. I know when if you lose, you want to be least competitive. You want to at least have a sense on how to beat the team. You got to know a sense on how to beat anybody because you're getting blown out. You're getting 100 points put on you in a WNBA. That's bad. That's horrible. You're getting 100 points. You're getting 100 points put on you. That is god awful. God awful.
Yeah, I just can't hold up. I just can't believe it. Like, I mean, just go back to their game. So the Liberty put up 104 points. They was close with the Fever in the Sky. That was their second win they got. The month of May, the first game against the Wings was close. The Dream was close. The Sun, they got another 102 points put on by the Liberty.
The Storm put 103 on them.
They played the Liberty again. They lost 91-80. So some of these games have been close for them, but the Storm put up 103 points. I don't know what is going. I just don't know what's going on. I just don't know. But ain't nobody talking about Enrique. She leading the WNBA in scoring. Why are we not? Talk about somebody else. Just talk about somebody else. That's all I wanted. Just talk about some other ladies. That's it. And that's all. Cameron Brink. I know my Sparks or you're in a rebuilding mood. I already know this. But she's a blocking machine. Her defense alone. Why are we not talking about Camila Cadorso coming back? What are we doing? What are we doing? But we're gonna leave it at that, y'all. Another 72 in the books. Again, we got 9 more shows until 100. Definitely make sure y'all tune in. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Sports Wave Network. And again, Jake the Snake for Snake Sports Talk Show. Make sure y'all subscribe to Jake. Thank you for hopping on. Appreciate you. Look, this was a shocker to me. I was like, oh, somebody backstage.
Sure enough, I had to show up.
Oh, Donte, you got some fans.
I don't know if I've seen that dude before. I don't know.
And then Enrique, Jake just left. Enrique, yeah, she is dangerous. We see when the next games are here. Almost done this, John. 36-18. We is getting our behinds whooped, Donte. This don't make no damn sense. Nafisa Collier with 11 points right now. She a walking bucket. She gonna heat up.
Yep.
The Erica Hamby with 6. Cameron Brink with 2. Yeah, this is gonna be bad. This is bad. This is bad. What did Enrique do against y'all? I mean, what she do? 31. Ooh, she had a bad shooting night. 9 for 23.
Yeah,
she had 31.
She been having bad shooting. She get up points, but she inefficient a lot.
Oh, I see Maddie stepping up a little bit. 14. Got T-Mac with 14. Asia Wilson. Kelsey Plum with 20 points. Darren Waller is a fool. He's a damn fool for that for the worse than Kelsey Plum. I'm sorry, y'all.
I don't know how Darren Waller messed that up.
How the hell he met? I just and then that video he did was whack. He need to stick to football.
That's crazy.
That song was horrible. Asia Wilson is the first WNBA player with 35, 10, and 5 steals in a game. But yet we're not going to talk about her. So we don't want to talk about her. But tomorrow we got the Sky and the Mystics, and then we got the Liberty and the Dream. Commissioner's Cup will continue. Washington still has not won a game yet. Washington is keeping Della Don hostage. Della Don wants to go somewhere else. Washington said no, so she said, "You know what? I just won't play this year.
I won't play basketball at all."
So y'all trying to keep Delly hostage. Remind me of Megatron. Megatron wanted to leave Detroit, was like, no. So he was like, you know what? I'm going to retire. How about that? So Washington, don't keep Della Don hostage. How you gonna keep her somewhere where she don't want to play?
Yep.
Makes no sense. Imagine her going somewhere else, like a team that really need a veteran on their squad.
Yep.
That could help them get. She wants to win another championship. She already has one. She wants to win another one, and y'all gonna keep her hostage. Y'all need to be ashamed of y'all damn self. The reason why y'all ain't got no points, y'all ain't got no wins now. Shout out to Aaliyah Edwards, the rookie over there.
Yeah, she a baller.
She gonna be teammate. Look, Aaliyah and Paige gonna be teammates again because that's where Paige is going to Washington. if Washington gets the number 1 pick, but you know how the lottery is. But we ain't really getting into baseball this week. Next week we'll probably get into it. You know, my Phillies sweep against the Milwaukee Brewers. But again, we gotta win this shit in the postseason.
Gotta win the World Series though.
Gotta win the World Series. But any last thoughts? You got anything you doing, Donte?
No, just going to AAU basketball and stuff like that. And that's all it is this weekend. So other than that, graduation. But other than that, man, we on our 90th episode, man. We on our way to 100. After this, we'll be 9 more away. And hey, I'll say we gonna have some fun.
I got a good game for y'all on the 100th episode. So y'all be ready for that. Whoever comes up should be interesting. But we're gonna get on out of here, y'all. Appreciate the late night edition. Appreciate Jake for tuning on in. But next week we got wide receivers and tight ends. And Donte will have his list, hopefully, his coach's list. But we gonna definitely break down game 1 or 2. I think we might be one or 2 games in by the finals. But we'll get it in. Until later, y'all. Enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Peace.
Peace out.
I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I gotta poke